Hello, welcome back once again. This is Samuel Ambrose Onen. Remember, we are still continuing with our understanding Git and GitHub and Git repositories, obviously, both the local repositories as well as the global or remote repositories, which is GitHub repositories. So in the previous video, we took a look at what we have learned so far since the beginning of this course, and we have seen a lot, including the architecture that I came up with, and we broke down the architecture to create the paradigms of operation in the Git environment or GitHub environment. And it is that paradigm which we are going to follow through in order to implement our Git and GitHub repositories. So we have created repositories. We have downloaded Git in our machine. As you can see here, we downloaded Git from that website, and we managed to create some repositories on our computer as well as GitHub repositories. So I'm just going to try to demonstrate these repositories for you so that you see exactly what we did. Remember, our first step was to install the Git, and is symbolized or indicated by this long arrow coming to our local machine. And local machine was empty without Git, but it contains just the local folders, the ordinary folders we would normally have on our computer without Git program. But once we have installed Git program, that means some of the files in those folders are being monitored, but not explicitly, until when we create what is known as Git repositories. That's when we will see the explicit operations or function of Git, to track our files, to watch our files in the folders, which is a Git repository. And then at the same time, we created GitHub, which is found on the internet. GitHub account is open on the internet, on the GitHub website, and then from there we create what is called GitHub repository, and then we link to that GitHub repository straight from our local machine, or clone that Git repository direct on our machine if we had not got any repository created on our device previously. So my friend, this is the paradigm of Git operation that you need to keep your eye on, and when you're operating with Git, this is the setup of the architecture that we have broken down, and we are going to start right from here to start our implementation straight away. Remember, we have already started the implementation. I'm just going to show you what we've done so far, and to see the progression from here in the next video. So let us see. Let's jump into our computer and go to Git Bash. I like Git Bash. You can use Windows Terminal as well. So we're just going to see, to check, to make sure that we have indeed installed our Git into our computer, which is represented by this long arrow here. Have we really installed Git in our computer? Well, to check that, you need to just type Git. Just type Git on the terminal like that. My friend, as you can see on the screen here, this is the indication that Git is available on our machine. As you can see, the usage, Git, and the operations or the operators here: add, move, restore, remove, bisect, diff, everything. So this is an evidence to show that we really have Git here on our device. We can go ahead to see what kind of version, Git version, we have on our machine by typing Git version. Then you press enter. My friend, you can see that we have Git version 2.45.2.window.1. So my friend, we have Git on our system indeed, as you can see. Now we have created a Git repository on our machine, and we call that Git repository Git tutorial. So let us have a look at that as well. So to do that, we need to check the directory under which we have created that Git repository. So Git tutorial, we can start by checking it from the Explorer. So to do that, we go to Explorer, File Explorer. File Explorer is right there, my friend. When we click on it, we go on the desktop, and you can see Git tutorial is sitting there on our desktop. That is, my friend, that's the Git tutorial I'm talking about. So we have created Git tutorial on our desktop, and we have made that Git tutorial to be a Git repository. From here it looks like it's just an ordinary folder, but when you click on it, you will see .git there. That .git indicates that this Git tutorial is in fact a Git repository locally sitting on our machine. So we can also check it via our command prompt. Let me try to make it a little bit bigger. So we can go to the desktop, desktop, and then let's check the directory on the desktop. We can see our Git tutorial is right there, my friend. You know, we can hop over there, hop, 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 hop. We are hopping, like jumping over there. So let's go to Git tutorial inside there, and then from here, my friend, we can check what is there as well, what is inside that Git tutorial. You can see, my friend, we have Java folder, Java file sitting right inside there, and one folder sitting right in it there. So we can see that we are on the master branch of this repository. We can run git status here just to see what is going on. Git status. My friend, you can see that on master branch. We are sitting on master branch, and changes to be committed. I'm not going to go to committing changes yet. I just want to show you the repository I have created. So we have indeed created this Git tutorial repository. Now another question is, where is the GitHub repository? GitHub repository is created on the GitHub website, and then after creating, you can either link to it or clone it to your local machine. So I have created an account on the GitHub website, so let me show you that as well. Go to the GitHub website. Yes, my friend, as you can see, this is my GitHub account, and the name is called Git, Sam Git. And the repository I created here is this one, Sam Git code. Sam Git code repository is sitting here, my friend, and as you can see, I have one file sitting there, and I've done 5 commits so far in the previous hours. This is just what I did previously, and then when we go to my local machine, we will see that we have indeed got a GitHub repository there. I call it some Git repo from here, but it's actually some Git code. So that one is the GitHub repository I've created and cloned it to my machine. So I've not only cloned it, I've actually linked to it from this local repository, so that we can be able to write codes here and then update GitHub repository straight away. So to check that, my friend, we can also go to our command line prompt. This is git bash, my friend, and type git as usual. Yes, that's the master branch. So to check this Git repository is linked to the GitHub. To check that it is linked, you need to type git remote space -v. My friend, as you can see, we have origin. We have remote Git right there. If any changes is made on that GitHub repository, I can fetch it and then be able to push it back so that the GitHub repository stays up to date. So my friend, this is a proof that we have our Git repositories set up. We have local Git repositories. We have remote GitHub repositories linked straight to our local GitHub repositories. And we have Git sitting on our local machine. So that is the setup you're seeing on the screen here. But I need to go and show you how I did it, because I know many people would love to know how to set this up so that you have a Git, a fully blown Git environment where you can start doing your coding. And that, my friend, is going to be our next video. But before that, I will go and clear everything that I have set previously and start resetting everything again from the scratch, so that you see all the steps that it takes for us to come to this particular screen you are seeing here, my friend. And on top of that, I would also like to show you a repository that I clone. It is right seated there. So the GitHub repository cloned from the GitHub website is right there, my friend. So when you click on it, you will see sam.css and you can see that Git folder sitting there, meaning that this is our repository, and this repository was a cloned repository to the local machine, meaning that whenever I do anything on this repository, I can just push straight away, back to the GitHub to create an update. And yeah, I think I've shown you already how the architecture look like. So this is the architecture. Sam.css is the copy of repositories on the GitHub repositories there, sitting there. So we have two links to two ways to link up to the GitHub repository. One is to create a direct link to the GitHub repositories via the URL account, and then we link it straight to our local repositories. Another way is to clone. I've done the cloning already, as we can check from here. Let's go to our desktop, change directory. This is our desktop, and then let's check what is there. Okay, let's just try to change directory from here to some Git. Yeah, as you can see, this is some Git. You can't do this straight away. Okay, we can see, you can see sam2.css is sitting right inside there, whereas in our local repository, let's go back to, and then hop to Git tutorial. Remember, Git tutorial is the local repository, and then inside there we have another file called let's see what we have inside there. Yes, on the Git, inside the Git tutorial folder, which is the local repository linked straight to the GitHub, we have some .java file sitting there, and you can see I have put this some Git code inside there purposely, just to see how, I was doing some experiment. But you don't do you don't have to do that in practice, because that same Git code is the clone repository from the GitHub repository. So our clone GitHub repository is there, and then we are also linked to the GitHub repository directly from the local Git repository. So Git tutorial is linked to some Git code, and then Git code is also sitting on this machine. So my friend, that's what we have done so far. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how to actually clear all these repositories, clear the configuration that I have done. We're going to run through to see what configuration we have done, just to clear everything and start reconfiguring them from the scratch, so that, my friend, you get to learn something also. So thank you for viewing. My name is once again Samuel Ambrose. Happy learning.